Okay, we're still working on the body. We're going to trim it up a little bit towards the head because the body is kind of too big for a lion. So we're just going to come back here. We're just going to trim some of this off. Okay, much better. Also, when I was offline, what I did was where we dug it underneath, I kind of brought this down towards that point so it looks like it's blended in. It's not just a sharp edge on it. Okay. That looks like it's cracked, but it's not. It's just a dark spot. Alright, let me take a look at what else we need to do here. Well, the tail usually comes down and around like so, right? And we'll have the tail coming up. Okay, just like so. So what we want to do is we just want to, in fact, that tail's weight. It usually comes to more of a point, so let's do that. Then it comes out kind of like this. Alright, there we go. That's a little better. A little thinner here at the base too. We can bring this down and around a little further. Cats' tails are pretty thin and slanky. I guess that's what you can call it, slanky. But they have that little thing there, so let's do that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut up little ways, chop this out. Okay. Do the same thing on the other side of his tail. Just so that you know that he has a tail that comes out. It's kind of subtle. It doesn't stick out too far. And then we're going to come up and around and that all the way back. So you want to do a stop cut all the way around it. And we're going to trim that off, of course, and same thing up here. It's kind of a relief carving. You're not doing it the actual depth of it. So it just looks like it's laying there next to him. Okay. That's pretty well. We'll clean that up a little bit later, but this is all going to come down a little bit more. Alright. Get this out a little bit more here. Yeah, I want that line to be a little bit thinner than what it is on the top, so it's proportioned a little better. Okay, and that's all you do, folks, is you keep looking at it and going back and forth with it until you're happy with how fat he is or how thin he could be. You know, you keep working at it. And you notice I'm going from one part of the body to the next. I'm just kind of going around and cleaning things up a little bit. Alright, so that's pretty well it on the body. But I'm going to, of course, be fussing here a little bit more. And his paws are going to come down a little bit at a curvature at the top here. And we're going to put little claws in there. And we're going to just round this off a little bit. Give a softer look to it. There you go. Same thing with this. I'm just going to take the hard edge off. Alright, so that's pretty well his body here. I'm going to trim. Let me take a look at this. Not happy with his legs yet, so let me bring this back just a tad more. Because they have this way of standing up really, really straight. So we're going to bring this back a little bit more. And we're going to dig this in a little further. That looks better to me. When they stand up straight, they have that angle on their legs. They don't have those elbows, knees look to it. It's pretty well straight. And again, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to undercut this a little further. Bring this down. Let me do that a little bit back here yet. Because if you look at a cat from a side profile, they're real straight and graceful. Alright, I think I have that done. See how I have this sticking out? Now this needs to be trimmed back just a little bit because that's not real pronounced, but we can have that coming down. That looks good. Alright, that looks good. It's good from the front. Looks okay from the side. Again, you can trim this up a little bit more. That's better. See, I'm just fussing with it and going over it and over it a little bit. That's what you do when you carve. You know, you take a look at it and you flip it over back and forth to whatever suits you until you're happy with it, you know. Some people will never be happy with the piece, and some people can say, oh, that's good enough, it looks fine to me, and they stop with it. If you're a real perfectionist, which I'm not, this could go on for a long time, going back and forth on this. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Alright, so we'll be back and we'll start putting on the mane with a V-tool, and he'll be done shortly.